How do I manage my own business website? This really depends on a few factors, like how you've got it set up. Can you log in? Is there a content management system? What platform has it been developed on, if any? Can you write code? And what particular aspect of managing your website are we talking about here? Let's imagine that you want me to design your website, so I'll be in charge of the design, how it looks and how it works. But you want to know the three main things to consider when it comes to managing your business website after it's been designed. So point one, I suppose, would be managing your hosting account. Definitely get your hosting from a reputable provider because they'll have good customer service and technical support, they'll have faster page loading speeds, they'll probably have some kind of 99% uptime guarantee like GoDaddy, and they won't be flagged as dodgy when you try to share your links on social media. Now, managing my websites in the sense of managing the hosting account requires that I periodically run updates to the PHP or SQL version. It will tell you in your cPanel when you need to do this, and before you do that you need to save a backup of all your work and make sure you understand how to then restore a backup. I can check my resource use in the bar in the left here. Now, if my site requires more use of resources than I have access to, then I can go in here and upgrade. If there's a security issue or a technical problem, your hosting provider should be able to figure out whether that's a problem at their end or a problem with something that you've configured incorrectly, which is more likely, to be honest with you. And if that happens, then they should be able to help you to figure out how to get it sorted out. You can upgrade your security with your hosting provider if necessary, but to be honest, anything that makes your site break or brings it down probably not going to be something to do with your hosting provider. It's probably not going to be that your hosting account needs to be upgraded. It's probably going to be that you've configured something incorrectly. So making sure that you know what you're doing before configuring settings is also a key part of managing your business website. So that's point one, you manage your business website by managing the hosting account that it's stored in and the domain configuration settings. For point two, let's move on to managing the actual content of your website. The easiest way to do this, as I said in my previous video, is to install WordPress and create your website on that platform. You can log into the admin area and add new pages and blog posts, and you can change the text and image content. This is referred to as using WordPress as a content management system, or CMS. There are other content management systems available like Drupal and Joomla, but WordPress is by far the easiest to get started with, and it's used by over a quarter of all of the websites on the internet, so it's not an amateur tool, it's quickly becoming an industry standard. Now, similarly to how I mentioned having to do updates and backups in your hosting account, you also need to do this in your WordPress dashboard. For security reasons and to make sure that your site carries on looking and working like it should, you need to update your theme and all of your plugins to the latest version every time a new version is released. But there's always a possibility that something could go wrong, so make sure you keep a backup of all your work first. When you first set up your installation of WordPress in your hosting account, it will ask you if you'd like to do these updates automatically. You can do this, but you need to make sure that those backups are going to be stored automatically as well. So the quickest and easiest way to do that would be to install the Jetpack plugin that's made by the same people who make WordPress. And you can upgrade that to the premium version then, or one of the premium versions, which then gives you exactly that functionality to be able to periodically, regularly save backups of all of your work automatically without you having to manually go and do it. Now, plugins are great in WordPress, but I will say only install plugins from trusted developers. You don't want to let just anyone add code to your website. So we've looked at managing your hosting account and your domain configuration settings. We've just looked at managing your content. Another aspect to managing your website is managing the channels into your website that you're responsible for, managing how you get traffic, how you get people actually to your website. So point three is about managing your SEO strategy and your social media pages. Now, in terms of SEO, I recommend having a blog on your website if you want your site to rank highly for the search terms that you'd like to rank for. Definitely have a blog, because that's an opportunity for you to regularly add new content, add useful content, add the content that answers the questions that people are asking, add the content that solves the problems that people have when they go to Google and they're searching for something and then they land on your website. Make sure that that's the content that they're actually looking for, that solves their problems. Search engines want to give those top spots to sites that do that. Now, publishing blog posts on your website and then sharing them on your Facebook business page, for example, has been a good way to go. The organic reach from pages has been declining over the last few years, and now Facebook has just announced another algorithm change, which means that you might be better off using groups. If you write blog posts and if they actually contain the information that people are looking for, that's a good start. People are much more likely to read your content, to engage with it, and to share it with your friends if it is useful stuff. But even so, organic reach on social media is limited, so boosting posts is a good idea. You will want to use Google Search Console, so you can submit your site for indexing and configure various settings there. And you'll also want to use Google Search Analytics, so you can see where the traffic to your website is actually coming from, what's working and what isn't. You can also use free online tools provided by companies like SEMrush, I'm sure there's others available, to research your competitors and what words are they ranking for that you'd like to rank for, and how are they doing that. You can try and figure out how they're doing it so you can then figure out how to do it better. If the majority of your traffic comes through Facebook, then you might think, well, I've got some advertising budget, some marketing budget, what am I going to do with that? If you're already getting a lot of traffic through Facebook, then you might think, well, I'll get an SEO campaign. Available from Bigwheel web design, by the way. You might spend the money on a SEO campaign, or if most of your traffic was coming through Google, not getting so much traffic from Facebook, then you might think, well, I've got this marketing budget, what am I going to do? Up the Facebook game. Obviously, if you're already getting the traffic from Google, you don't need to keep, you can just maintain that. So broadly speaking, that is how you manage your own business website. You've got to manage 1, your hosting account, 2, your content, and 3, your traffic, like your channels into the website, your SEO and social media strategy. It does take a bit of time, does require a bit of know-how, but it is doable. If I were you, I'd just save the time and hire me to do it all, but I would say that, wouldn't I? So I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please do give me a like and subscribe, leave a comment, all of that stuff, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.